400 hot dogs ready to go and many, many bottles of Coca-Cola. So that's the practical side. And then just a couple of us who were gonna sing, and it was just God opened up the doors, and we had about 120 women, and then another couple of hundred upstairs that couldn't, and began to share. I usually share my testimony or parts of it, but the Lord began to really minister to some of these ladies, and they just started weeping, just weep. And of course, I weep. Like I've said for years, I cry when the Shrek credits come on. I just weep all the time. And so many just wanted Jesus.
Yeah.
Just wanted Jesus.
Praise God.
And
Praise God.
they wanted prayer, and they wanted love, and they wanted to be held. And the harder times are when we go up to the cells, where there's sometimes reasons they're not allowed out of their cells. Sometimes it's just bad behavior, or they, some of these were murderers, and they were not allowed. And yet, boy, we go up, and of course they love, because everybody loves hot dogs in Brazil, and it's very different how they make them, and we put those together when they're there, but just they're really good. And they were happy to be fed, but they reached their hands through the bars to touch you, to want a real, non-sexual, just physical touch.
Yes.
And that always blows me away, because I've seen this happen so many times. But then they'll get even down, bend down, so your hand can get on their head to pray and to bless them. And virtually every woman that was in there came to Christ that day. And the thing that I did this past year, and I should have done it a lot earlier, but I finally wrote my testimony in tract form, and we put it in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And it has really been effective. And we gave it out to everybody that was there. I brought extra, more than I even had in June. I kind of ran out in June, but when we went back. Oh, I started to say, this particular one was not to do, good thing I saw your face and reminded me, that this was not to be just outreach. This was to teach in 2 YWAM school DTSs, which I love, because I love this generation. I love pouring into them, and I love that we're able to, to speak to them. And then I always like to go do outreach from that. And so each of the times we went out and did that. But then because of Chio and my relationship with him, he set me up in some other opportunities in the brothels and into the, the bar and into the women's prison. And so it was wonderful to do that, because I love the fact that if you teach something and you preach something, my attitude has always been, if I'm doing that, let's go practice it right away. Let's apply it right away. Because if you don't, it just becomes another message. One more message that you've heard or know pretty well, but it hasn't affected you. Or to me, the practical thing is, my attitude and my philosophy is, what I teach you in the morning, you'll do it in the afternoon. And I've been doing that ever since I met the Lord. That's